What now is the real difference between this fatalism and the predestination taught, say, in our confession? Schopenhauer says predestination and fatalism do not differ in the main. They differ only in this, that with predestination, the external determination of human action proceeds from a rational being, and with fatalism, from an irrational one. But in either case, the result's the same. Unquote. And Warfield goes on here to say, that is to say, they differ precisely as a person differs from a machine, and yet Schopenhauer cannot represent this as not a radical difference. Professor William James knows better in his lectures on the varieties of religious experience. He enlarges on the difference. It is illustrated, he says, by the difference between the chill remark of Marcus Aurelius, who would say, if the gods care not for me or my children, there is a reason for it. But he says, I contrast that with the passionate cry of Job, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. He says, and it's not just the difference in emotional mood, it's the difference that stretches between materialism and religion. There is therefore no heresy so great, no heresy that so utterly tears religion up by the roots as the heresy that thinks of God under the analogy of natural force and forgets he is a person. Right? That's the difference. Like, fate might mean that Angus is indeed meant to follow in the steps of his father. But predestination, by contrast, says Angus has a heavenly father that may have determined different steps in his grace as well as in his mercy and his love, right? Like, predestination is not the same as fate. In fact, our natural fate at all humans would or should be damnation. But in God's electing and destinating, like, those verses are actually saying how we have a hope of escaping fate